Hi there, I'm Therese from Therese Bradley Art. I believe art making is a refuge, a safe place for you to reset your mind and body from a stressed out place to a calm and relaxed place. That's hard to do if you're stressed out trying to figure out what colors go together so that you like your artwork once you're done with it. These color recipes are tiny little snack-sized bites of color practice so you can build your skills in an easy peasy way. To play along, just download the Mandala Coloring Sheet. I'll have a link in the description below. Just sign up for my email list and I'll send it right over to your inbox. I've created over 100 color recipes and I've printed out each one on an index card. I'll randomly choose a recipe for each day's video. Okay, let's get started. In today's video, I'll be using an intermediate tertiary color scheme. I'm going to briefly try to explain what that is. I'm going to do a super simple color wheel. We start out with our primary colors. We've got red, yellow, and blue. Now I've just pulled out Crayola crayons. So this does not mean this is the only red that's primary red. You can use any red as your primary red. I'm just going to go ahead and go with the ones that are in the Crayola coloring box for right now, just for demonstrating. So red, yellow, and blue. Okay, so these are the primaries. And what that means, now remember, this is color theory, not color fact. So that means this is our best guess, and this is just simply a tool to help you use color. So if you don't like using color wheels, don't even worry about it. However, if you want to learn about it, here's a quick, easy way. So we start out with the foundation colors, 3 basic colors, red, yellow, and blue. And the idea is that you cannot mix these 3 colors from anything else. You have to start with these. That's the idea. Okay, primaries. Then if you mix the primaries together, you will get what's called secondary colors. If you mix red and yellow, you get orange. If you mix yellow and blue, you get green. And if you mix blue and red, you get violet or purple. Okay, Crayola to the rescue. Orange, green, and violet or purple. All right, so those are the secondary colors. And again, you get secondary colors by mixing 2 primaries together. That gives you a secondary. Okay, so what if we mix a primary color with a secondary color? Then we get what's called intermediate colors or tertiary colors. They're known by both names. So we've got our little mixtures here. Red and orange give you red, orange. All of the intermediate or tertiary colors will have a 2-color name. Their name is made of 2 colors, so red, orange. If we mix orange and yellow, we'll get yellow, orange. If we mix yellow and green, we'll get yellow, green. If we mix green and blue, we'll get blue, green. If we mix blue and violet or purple, you'll get blue, violet. And if we mix violet or purple and red, you'll get red, violet. Now, it doesn't matter for our purposes whether this is red, violet or violet, red. Either way, different color companies will mix both of them or just one of them. I'm not worrying about that for now. I'm just giving you one of the names, okay? So red and orange give red, orange. Orange and yellow give yellow, orange. Yellow and green give yellow green. Green and blue give blue green. This is one of my very favorite colors. Blue and violet or purple will give you blue violet. And then violet or purple and red will give you red violet. Okay, so the tertiary or intermediate colors that I'm using today: red violet, red orange, yellow green, blue violet. And today's color swatch says one of each color: one red orange, one yellow orange, one yellow green, one green blue, one blue violet, one red violet, and we're using one medium. Medium is the singular, media is the plural. Sometimes you'll also see mixed media, which means using more than one type of thing. So you might have collage and acrylic paint, or you might have chalk pastels and paint pen. That would be mixed media, or using more than one medium, using plural media. So today we're using one medium, and we're doing the intermediate tertiary color scheme. And if you want to take a screenshot of this recipe, go ahead and do that. And remember, if you haven't already, go download that Mandala coloring page so you can color along with me. You can just pause this video and go download that. Okay, so I'll be back in a moment and I'll have my colors and I will figure out what medium I want to use. I will probably use colored pencil, but I could use crayon too. We'll see. See you in a bit. Okay, I decided that I will go ahead and use my color crayons just to keep it easy peasy. So again, if you haven't taken a screenshot, you can take a screenshot real quick. These are tertiary or intermediate colors. So they all have a 2-color name. So I am just going to start. The reason why I designed these mandala coloring pages that I have is I find that drawing, every time I color in one of these rings, my brain says, oh, you've completed a circuit. And that's very calming and soothing. Within each ring, I've got different patterns, but within each ring, the pattern gets repeated. So there's this rhythm to it. Here's a bunch of arches, and then there are these kind of pointy petal shapes. And then there's more of a rounded petal shape. And they all repeat within the ring, but they vary a little bit from ring to ring to ring to ring. So you get rhythm, you get repetition. And again, that's all very soothing to our brain, because our brain is looking for what's wrong, what's out of place, what do I need to pay attention to? And these designs are very soothing because they're repetitive, they're rhythmic. And again, every time you color a ring, you've completed a circuit, and our brain likes that. So I'm not using any rhyme or reason right now for my colors. Sometimes what I like to do is I will make sure that there's an intensity change between my colors. So like dark light, dark light, dark light. So there's a little bit of a contrast. But you don't have to. And I am using these intermediate colors. this is a limited palette. Even though there are, let's see, there's 6 different colors I'm using, it's limited because I've controlled how I'm choosing those colors. I'm not going to introduce anything. I'm not going to introduce a primary, or I'm not going to introduce a secondary. I'm going to stick with these intermediate colors. So having a little bit of limits creates some organization, especially if you've got a lot of colors. And this is a lot of colors. This is 6 different colors. So when I start these centers, I usually just kind of straight out color. I don't try to do any light to dark variation. They're rather small spaces, so I just make it easy for myself. And later, when I get into some of these larger spaces, then I might start, like when I'm using the same crayon, for instance, try getting some lighter areas and also some darker areas within that larger space just from the one crayon. But I'll show you that as I go along. All right, now what I'm doing, I'm using that same crayon, but I'm coloring a lot harder. And so I'm able to make a value difference. All right, I want to show you a quote unquote mistake I made so that you don't freak out when you do it too. Right here, I colored outside the line and I got into this space with that yellow orange crayon. I'm not going to worry about it because when I come over and color in that space, it'll get covered up. So if you do something like this and your inner critic starts beating you up saying, oh man, you ruined it. Look at that. You flubbed it up. Now you're going to have to start over. Just calm down. Take a breath. It's just some coloring page. It's just pretty colors. And we're using this to help calm ourselves down and get out of that stress response. So this is a good way to practice being kind to yourself and letting your inner critic know, hey, it's okay. I'm going to come back and I'm going to color over that. No one will ever be able to tell. And even if they can tell, by the time the whole design is colored, that tiny little mistake won't even be obvious anymore. So it's okay. Thanks for letting me know, but I got this. It's okay. So that's how you practice talking to your inner critic, being gentle to yourself, being kind to yourself, being compassionate to yourself. Okay, so what do I want to come in with now? I think I'm going to use this blue-green. Now on this blue-green, what I'm going to do is I colored it sort of a medium value. I didn't press especially hard or anything, but I'm going to come into these edges, these little corners, and see if I can press it darker. So it looks like that petal has a little bit of a curve to it now. So just with the same crayon, creating a little bit of dimension just by going a little bit harder in the corners. See, that's where that little mistake was, and I just trapped it in that darker spot. Can't even tell. Well, if you want to be super critical and look really close, I'm sure you can tell. But you know what? It's good enough. Making art can bring us pleasure if we will just quiet our inner critic. And it's okay if your inner critic pops up and tells you things. You just answer back, just calmly, and say, it's okay, we got this. It's gonna be okay. All right, I think what I'm gonna do now, sometimes what I like to do on these bigger spaces, I like to outline the shape dark and then color in lighter. Kind of a variation of what we just did. I think I'm going to outline this part too. I'm going to outline all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to outline dark, and color in light. Okay. This is very bright and colorful. Again, this one was an intermediate tertiary color scheme. If you want to take a photo of that recipe card, take a screenshot. All right, I am going to pull another recipe card for the next video. The next video will be complementary colors, blue and orange, 3 blues, 1 orange, 1 medium. I hope you'll join me for that one too. If you're on IG, if you're on Instagram, you can post a photo of your mandala and tag me at Therese Bradley, ThereseBradley.art. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like. Thanks for watching. See you next time.